Hello, Oracles. Well, Tesla was down another 4.5% today as we sold off, underperforming the market yet again. Seems like we've got kind of a FUD storm coming in. Now, we haven't had a FUD storm since back in the spring, where just all sorts of news was coming out with FUD and negative things about Tesla. So it's been a while. And honestly, these are the times for me personally that I love buying more. Because when the entire market is against Tesla for really no real reason, the market decides to sell off. We end up pushing down. So taking a look at the levels, we were discussing how the last 3 days we basically stopped at all of the levels we had been discussing. So we stopped at 300, then broke below that. We stopped at 289 and then broke below that. And now we have stopped at 275, which is a little bit below the 278 level that I had, but 275 is playing out to be a very strong support level. So we have now stopped at that. So when we open up on Monday, I'm going to be paying attention to that 275 level because below this is 265. So if we are going to continue this trend, I'll be looking to drop down to 265 and add more at that level. Now over on Twitter, Arny and Tesla SG both tweeted that the fear and greed index is now in the extreme fear level. So we're down to 24 on this level. So something to pay attention to, because when the market is fearful, that is the time you want to be greedy. This is why I add as the stock market is dipping. When I see Tesla dropping, I want to add more. And I want to thank Fred, who made a comment in this morning's video discussing just that, which is you don't gain or lose anything until you actually sell. So the stock's going to dip. It's going to dip. It's going to go up and down. That's just how it's done. And Tesla fluctuates significantly. We have seen this in the past. But when it dips down, these are the times that you want to buy. You want to be greedy when others are fearful, and you want to be fearful when others are greedy. But just be cautious of the fact that we're running up and a lot of people are being greedy. And it's like, all right, well, maybe it's time for me to maybe not buy as much right now because we're probably going to be anticipating a dip. And again, this is why I follow the charts, and you guys will see that all over the place when I'm talking about the RSI with overbought and oversold and different levels that we're looking at. So again, we went through this a lot when Elon was selling, and I just wanted to reiterate to you guys, Tesla is going to be fine in the long term. These near-term movements are really gifts for us to be able to buy more. This is why all year long I have been discussing cash flow generation is going to rule the day, because the more cash flow you have coming in, the more you're going to be able to take advantage of these opportunities as we dip. Now, nobody knows the future for certain. I do not know, and I can't tell you for a fact that we are going to go to the moon, but look at just the facts. Look at the fundamentals of the company. Look at the direction that it's moving. I truly have conviction that the stock is going to be worth at least $6,000 by 2032. So again, that's just based off of my current valuation model, and my valuation model doesn't really have a lot of FSD, robotaxi, or AI revenue in it as well. Energy is also relatively low. Once we get more numbers that come in from those to show us what we can truly get from revenues from them, my price targets are probably going to jump significantly. And if you'd like to see my price targets and my production and delivery forecasts and my valuation model, I have all of those over on Patreon, and I have them here as a member depending on what level you choose to go with. And now looking at all of the indices, the Dow closed under 30,000, the Nasdaq closed under 10,700, and the S&P closed under 3,700 itself. So all the indices are moving down. Tesla is moving down with it. Don't forget that Tesla was outperforming the market for the last 2 weeks. Part of that was probably due to the fact that we were expecting 100,000 deliveries coming out of Shanghai. Now with new numbers coming in, it sounds like we might not even reach 90,000. So that could be part of the reason why we are seeing a little bit more of a sell-off going on as well. So we've got that. We've got the FUD going on. There's news about potential fires going on in a Model Y. Again, these are silly FUD stories that are coming out that, you know, it's just stuff that they put into the headlines to get out there, and it causes more FUD than is really necessary. So these are the times when we get to these extreme fear situations where I want to buy more. And Gary Black also tweeted out that Elon's sales cannot go on after today because the Q3 window for sales is closed for him. So I believe they reopen up at the end of October. I'm not sure on the exact date for that. So if you guys do know, let me know in the comments. But right now, he cannot sell any more shares. So we still have that Twitter overhang. He's got the deposition that's going to be going on next week. So we'll see how that plays out, see if they come up with a lower deal. But either way, whatever deal they come up with, if that ends up going on over the next week, he will not be able to sell any shares during this time frame. And Tesla Synopsis and Sawyer Merritt both tweeted out articles coming out about hiring that Tesla is doing for the AI robot. And so looking at the humanoid robot coming, they are expecting to have thousands of these humanoid robots working in their factories over the next decade. So this is significant. This is a piece that a lot of people are missing on Wall Street, not understanding how this is going to change the game when it comes to manufacturing. Tesla has already changed the game when it comes to manufacturing by setting up the format as they do, being the most efficient company out there when it comes to automobile manufacturing. Now putting Tesla bots into their factories as well is going to minimize downtime and increase efficiency in all of their factories. This is something many people are overlooking, and this is just going to lower the cost of their vehicles more and increase profit margins that much more as well. And now, speaking of profit margins, Troy Teslike had mentioned how it looks like all of the Model 3 and all of the Model Y vehicles in the US, except for the Model 3 standard range, which uses LFP batteries from China, all of those other vehicles should qualify for the EV tax credit. This in itself, as we have discussed before, is most likely going to add significant profits to Tesla's bottom line going into next year. And speaking of profits, Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas came out with a new note today discussing how by 2030 they are expecting Tesla to have $350 billion in free cash flow. I will be updating my valuation model over the weekend, and we'll be sharing that out on both Patreon and as a member, so you guys can see all of that, because the free cash flow of $350 billion by 2030 is insane. And that there just tells me that they're going to have plenty of money to do buybacks and all sorts of investing back into the company with whatever new projects they are going to be coming up with. And whatever they want to do with Optimus and the AI robot and the AI program that they've got, they will have more than enough cash to do whatever it is that they want to do. And so looking at the charts, we have now pushed down below 40 in the RSI. Just a reminder that under 30 usually means undersold. We have been down into the lower 30s earlier this year, so based upon the trends that we have seen this year, we could push a little bit lower. So again, pushing down to that 265 and 247 level, maybe to fill those gaps. If we do get down to those levels, that would probably mean that we are pushing under 30, which would signify a time for buyers to come back in. So right now, it seems like a lot of people are looking for that $250 level. So if we continue to push down, we've got a lot of bulls who kind of have stepped aside, allowing the stock to come down. So we're watching the price come down. Buyers are waiting for these levels. If it continues to come down further, some of these bulls may end up saying, you know what, let's see how much further it can come down to buy lower. I'm one of them. I am guilty of that. I definitely want to see the stock price come down so I could buy at a lower price. I'm still buying every day regardless, but seeing as it coming down, I'm going to want to buy as low as I possibly can. The bears are currently in charge of the stock price and the market for the moment, so we're just riding this down. But we never know when that's going to turn around, which is why I add at every one of these levels. So again, the next level down is 265 based upon what I have in my charts. So I'll see how we trade on Monday when it comes to that. Crypto again has been moving back up after hours today, so we'll see how it trades over the weekend. It has usually been a leading indicator. And today I did execute my plan as I had stated. I did add about $20 at 280. I was going to add at 278, but because of the day and running around on the obstacle course, I was only able to add at 280. That was fine by me. $2 isn't going to make a huge difference. So I added the 280 level, and again, my next level is 265. So let me know in the comments below, did you guys add any today? What levels did you add at? I did have a discussion with many of you in the comments at all your buys. Some of you got into 273, 275. 275 right now seems to be a very strong support level that we have been seeing. It kept on pulling back to that level, whether we were over it or under it. That seems to be a very strong level to be at right now. So we'll see how that works out on Monday. And now remember, all of these levels that we have discussed are now going to act as resistance levels as we come back up. So let's take a look at all the levels that we had on the way back up, because depending on how strong they were on the way down is most likely going to determine how strong they are on the way back up as well. And the way I'm looking at it is that $300 level, if we do end up pulling down further and filling these gaps at 247, when we get back over $300, I don't think we're coming back underneath it again. That's just my personal take on this, but judging by how we've been moving right now and what we have going forward, I truly don't think once we get back over 300, we will come back under it. And let me know your thoughts as well when it comes to the AI robot. With Tesla doing the hiring as it is and putting out there that they're looking to have thousands of them in the factories, when do you think that they are going to have all of these humanoid robots in the factories helping them out? And at what point do you think they're going to have as many in the factories as they need to actually truly make a difference in efficiency and cost reduction? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. If you found value in this video and enjoyed it, please consider sharing it with others. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.